All right, guys, welcome to our call. It's August 12th, and I'm excited. I decided to wear this tank top. I got it in today. This is the prize if you help 3 people. I think I said, like, if you help 3 people with a, like, bod year subscription, if you help 3 people with a completion pack, a challenge pack, or, like, a nutrition HD auto ship, then you can get one of these tanks this month. And I went ahead and ordered one because I always like to see stuff before I get it. It's super cute. It's kind of like cropped. There's a little lightning bolt on the back. I know Ashley already earned hers. If you already earned yours, you'll have to tell me because I try to check the volume reports, but it's easier, obviously, to check Success Club numbers. But just keep that in mind. You also get a Jericho bobblehead this month if you hit Success Club. I think there's like a 5 and a 10 depending on what your prior accomplishments have been, but that's pretty cool too. My kids have broken every single one of those I've ever gotten, but it is a cute little gift to get. And then of course Beachbody has their like typical Success Club prizes where if you've hit your first month you get like a specific tank. If it's your third month you get Beachbody Monopoly, I think. And then if it's 6 months there's in a row there's like a cute backpack. It's black and it's like neoprene, so it's great for the pool. So I know some people are at different levels of that. We are in the middle of this Rock Your Rank thread. Some of you, I think most of you are in there. The thread was created more just like to give you a push to invite into coaching. And so what we do want to do is do a sneak peek into coaching. We had it on the calendar for this Thursday. I am kind of just floating this out there. I was on Megan Ewaldson's coach call this morning, and she's going to do a big one with Fit and Fierce. I don't know if you want to join forces and do it together. She's going to be giving away prizes and stuff in that one, and it's going to be next week. We could either do ours this week or we could combine with them. Sometimes it's more exciting to do it all together, but we could also just do both, and then you have something to invite to. I just want to encourage you, if you're not inviting to coaching or posting about coaching and you know that your goal is to get to like Emerald or your goal is to get to Diamond, please sprinkle those posts in there, because if nothing else, if you're getting responses to those posts, likes, loves, comments, those are people that you can easily invite to coaching. And a lot of times that's our like really scary place of who do I talk to about this? And, maybe sprinkle some of your coaching into your stories. It's really easy to do like a here's me sitting down to do my work kind of post and see if people respond to that. And, if you're pushing for this Fit and Fierce leadership retreat, or even if you can't go, but like earning an invite would be cool, talk about that in your stories. Talk about the opportunities that are available. Talk about, goals that you're working on and the things that your bigger team is doing. Oftentimes we feel weird posting about coaching when we don't have like some giant income transformation, which I think's silly because most people can't relate to you. Like Megan Ewaldson posted her income progression and earned $30,000 last month. Most people are going to look at that and be like, nah, I don't think so. If you post that you bought groceries last week with your money, guarantee that'll get way more responsiveness for you. Just saying, it's much more relatable and it's much more like, hey, I that's a place where I could see myself being right now. And that is going to tie right into our call tonight about belief. So I just wanted to put that out there. We are also going to do like a reboot of the Rise Above Tribe and the Ultimate Portion Fix groups. I just titled them, well, I put the same cover photo in both. It's like that end of summer like challenge, and I have these challenge group guides that I have been using like each month, and so it's going to have a theme. It'll have daily posts, and we'll post those in both. So feel free, like if somebody is not a good fit for Morning Meltdown 100, we are going to do like a prep week this week in both those groups, and then next week start a week 1. So you can invite to that. The other thing is the 3-day refreshes are all on sale for 10% off this month, not the challenge packs, but the actual kits. The challenge packs probably aren't, because you can ultimately send someone your $10 off code. So if you want to be posting about a 3-day refresh before the end of the month, like maybe pre or post Labor Day, we can always set up a team date for that. I know some of you ladies that are wrapping up 80-day obsession are going to be doing one. So it might be a good time to you do it, share your results. We can advertise for a team 3-day refresh group as well. The other thing is, like, Ashley's wrapping up the Ultimate Reset, or she wrapped it up yesterday. I have a discount coach who is she's just finished her first week. If you want to share their results and talk about the Ultimate Reset, that's always a possibility too. My girl, who's a discount coach, is down about 7 pounds in 1 week with it. Ashley, I think, I'm just giving her results away because I just asked her, but she's down about 18.5 pounds and like some crazy amount of inches. So she's going to be posting her results. I mean, give her a huge round of applause. As she's eating like a reset meal right now, and she's done with it. But that's amazing. And I think honestly, the times that I've done the reset and stuck with it, posted it, it's been huge for my business too. So feel free to share that, and then we can, create some sort of cleanse type group at the end of the month if we all need that extra push. If you are pushing for the leadership retreat, the date to lock in like any diamond rank advancements or star diamond rank advancements would be September 5th. I think if you start qualification for star diamond by September 5th, they probably would let you come as well. But just putting that out there for anybody that is pushing, and it's totally feasible. I know, like, we make diamond super scary, we make star diamond super scary, but ultimately now you're seeing people do it in like 2 weeks or a month or 6 weeks. It's just a matter of these people don't see limitations. And so I wanted to talk about belief tonight because I think that this is like the biggest thing that holds us back, the biggest thing that maybe prevents us from getting to where we want to be, or maybe it's just something that, like, we don't really know what we want out of this, And what I wanted to talk about, like, first and foremost is, I didn't come into this business with a business building mindset. I think maybe like 1 in 5 coaches I encounter came in for the business. Like, most of us come in wanting to work on ourselves, which means that oftentimes when it comes to the business side of things, we just set our bar really low, right? Because we think anything is a win. Like, helping one customer is a win, or maybe, getting to Emerald is a win, or maybe earning $100 is a win. And so then we don't really necessarily embrace the possibility for what's beyond that. And I want to use tonight as a way to kind of give you some things to think about, give you, maybe if you don't think that you are capable of beyond that, maybe a push towards it. If you don't really know what's like beyond where you are now, I want to at least share that with you. And then I want to talk to you about some ways that maybe you can channel that belief into like you growing to the next level, whatever that may be for you. It doesn't have to be rank. It doesn't have to be volume or income. Maybe it's simply like me. I haven't finished a program well all year, and my belief right now has to be that I can do this Morning Meltdown 100 program without totally shitting the bed, excuse my language, but like, that has been my like story all year, and I'm working on changing it. So you can be anywhere working on anything, and just know that this does not have to necessarily be on a rank or a title or any recognition. I just want to say, like, what made me think that the business here was possible was simply that I committed to a program. I started to see results. I started to share those results, and people started asking me questions about what I was doing. There was never a point that I said, oh, I'm a great leader, or I am fantastic on social media, or man, I can't wait to share pictures of my belly, or like, like any of the stuff that holds us all back. There was never a point where me in my mind, I was like, no, those are great things. Like, I'm ready for that. No, I was never ready for it. It was just a matter of like, I'm committing to me, and I'm going to see what happens in the process. And I can guarantee that almost every top coach you see, every coach in the Million Club now, every person that gets to be on one of the exclusive coach test groups, or even the workout videos, they don't think that they're worthy of what they're doing when they get started. It's just like they trust the process, and they take the steps, and it starts to happen. So I just want to like quickly put out some things that maybe you are thinking, or you have thought, or I have thought that, maybe you hadn't even like come up with yet. But there's some things that are easy to tell ourselves in this when we don't see like massive success right away, or when we make that first post and it's like wah wah wah, nobody commented on it, or when we invite our first 5 people and they say no, or when we invite the first person that we send our share cart to and they don't complete the enrollment. Any of these things, like, all these failures have happened for every person that you will talk to in this business, without a doubt. So some things that I've thought, some things I've heard are like, I'm just a new coach. Like, I'm not really like worthy of putting myself out there as somebody that can coach somebody else. Or I don't need to rank advance. Like, I'm a great Emerald coach, or I'm great at coach status. Rank doesn't matter. Or I don't think I'd be a good leader, so I don't really need to build a team. Or I don't need to be on that level, or that will never be me. Like, I can't relate, like, saying what Megan Eagleton said. My first thought was, oh, that's never going to be me. Like, why do we do that to ourselves? Like, who says that's not going to be you? And then I'm totally good with where I am. Like, no one outside of Beachbody World knows what my rank is. It doesn't matter how many of those stupid ribbons are on my lanyard at Summit. Like, outside of this world, it doesn't matter. So I'm good with where I am right now. Like, have you thought any of these things? Raise your hand if yes. No? No one? No one? Okay. So, the thing that you could do, and the thing that I've seen a million people do, not quite a million because I haven't enrolled that many people, but I'd say 95% of the people I've set up as a coach is they give up. Like, they don't get their first yes, they stop. Um they fall off the wagon one weekend, they quit their program. They enroll their first coach, they get to Emerald, one of the coaches quits, and then they never go back. Or they get halfway to Diamond and everybody quits and then they just stop. Like, that could be you, but you're on this call right now, so I know it's not you because you're showing up and you are committed and you're saying, like, despite all the failures, despite all the things that stack up against me, I'm still showing up and I'm here. So you clearly have a belief in yourself to be here, or you have a vision for this business, or both, because I think those are the things that keep you coming back, right? Like, you're the minority in this business. So that is an automatic, like, check in your box, like, win on your, win losses sheet. You're showing up and you're here. And honestly, you guys, like, I've thought about this before, like, what if I didn't keep showing up? Or what if I let those things get to me? Or what if, like, I had all these expectations coming into this business and they weren't fulfilled, so I did quit. And then I look at our workout threads in the morning, and then I look at our book clubs that we do, and then I look at, like, somebody like Ashley that just completely annihilated a program and had the best results ever, and I think none of this stuff would be here. And what is that? Like, to me, that, like, gives me chills. Like, that's not the reality that I want. And just know that you're going to have all of these things that you can put into your, whatever she calls this, your book of proof, if you keep showing up, to where those failures start to become minimalized. It's just going to happen. Like, even if it's your own personal wins, somebody else's win in your life, there's a ripple effect to this business regardless. So I just want to give you a few things to think about. Like, if you read personal development at all and you read about, I think that everybody's heard this, like, Oprah Winfrey, she got fired from her first few jobs. Michael Jordan, like, how much work it took for him to get into the NBA. I think Walt Disney he got fired from a job. They said he wasn't creative enough. Or whoever the KFC guy is, he had to shop that recipe like 20,000 plus times to get to where he was. Failure is just a part of the game. It's just the differentiating factor between those people and the people that don't make it are lack of belief, and then they stop showing up. And that's the biggest thing, like, if you keep showing up, there's going to be like a shift in your favor. And I was reading a book today that's a religious book. Kelly Wise recommended it to me, called Chase the Lion. And he basically says, like, he gives all these examples of people, but this pastor in this book had so many failures before, lost properties. He like, tried to plant a church in one place and it totally failed. His first 4 years of church, like, he only had, I don't know, like 20 something regular attendees of the church, and they were all around the age of like 21. Those people do not tithe very well. And his point was, he kept showing up because he had that vision, he had that purpose. And then year 5 is when the shift happened. And everybody's timing is different. It's totally different. So you can't look at the person in the next lane and compare your race to theirs. But just know that if you keep showing up and you keep taking action, you keep doing the things, it's going to get you there. So what I wanted everybody to do, just really quickly, is to take a second and make a list of things that you get down on yourself about. And I'm going to give you like 3 minutes to do it. I know that we could probably spend a lot longer. Like, I could write pages on this for myself, but I just want you to take like 2 to 3 minutes, write down a few different things that you get down on yourself about, or your limiting beliefs, or the things that start to like wear on you, and type 1 in the chat thread. Just trust me here, and I'll just start right now and give you a couple minutes. Oh my gosh, Sarah, I love your Sarah 2.0. I just saw it. I don't have what it takes. Anybody else want to type theirs? All right, I see time coming up more than anything else. I don't have what it takes. Leadership, don't know what I'm doing, not enough time. I feel like the themes are like often the same in this, and it's exactly what you hear from people when you invite them to join you, right? Like it's a lot of the same stuff. Now I want you to think, where would you be if you eliminated that thought? Like if that wasn't your limiting factor, and just think about like what your vision for this may be, or what your why for this may be. If you took away some of these things and you just acted without that limiting factor coming into play, what would you be able to do? Oh, these are so good. So, like fear not holding you back, keeping in mind why you started this in the first place. Like, I think most of us have a why that's outside of ourselves. Like, we didn't, yes, we started to work on ourselves, but in reality, we fell in love with the business and what it could do for us. Maybe it's, put your kids in extracurriculars. Maybe it's leave the job where you and your husband are working opposite schedules constantly. Maybe it's get out of debt because you have a ton of student loan debt. Like that's my big thing. And in reality, what does that do for my family? It allows me to, have more time with them, have less stress around them, have more vacations with them. Um, Calling myself Phoenix right now to retrain your brain. I love that. Not care what others think. Use time binging on TV to work biz. You could do both. Hello. I'm proof of that. Work on myself instead of being lazy because I finally get to rest after work. Yeah, so I mean, what this is leading into is like everybody's why, right? Like we all have a why that's bigger than ourselves. We all have a why that means more than just like showing up and getting abs. And we all have a why that is often something that can make us feel really emotional and really like down on ourselves for then not fulfilling that why. Yet for some reason that like negative spin cycle sometimes comes into play. But what is the one limiting factor here in everything? It's us. It's whatever we're doing, our lack of belief in ourselves that's holding us back. There's nothing else in our lives that makes any of this stuff true as to why we can't do it. It's just us thinking these things, right? So if you came into this with a vision and you know your why, then all you have to do at this point is reprogram your brain, right? Like if it's not enough time, maybe you look at that 10 minutes in the car rider line as like, this is the time I'm going to blow my business up. Maybe it's that, 5 minutes that you're sitting, I don't know, karate, waiting on your kid to finish. And you have just a couple minutes to add a few connections or send a few messages on Instagram. Or if it's that you're waiting on your kids to wake you up, which was me at the beginning of the year, maybe it's that you're setting the alarm to get your workout in earlier because you know that if you're not like, getting that transformation, that's the one thing holding your business back, because that to me is like the biggest thing that moves our business forward. Get my ass up in the morning and quit using I'm not a morning person excuse yet. So what you can do is become the thing that's not standing in your own way, right? And the only way really to do that is to reframe those things that you consider to be your limiting factors and work them in your favor. I have seen countless coaches that are like these power of part-time coaches building amazing businesses in an hour a day. And you know why they do so well? Because they're not screwing around in that hour. They're getting in and they're getting out and they're doing all the things and they're done. No, it's not all day, but like they get so much done because they've learned how to maximize that time. Or if it's the, the coaches that did start just to work on themselves and their business blows up, chances are what's getting them to blow up is that they're having some killer transformation for themselves and they're being so dang consistent every single day with getting the right physical transformation, eating the right foods, training their brains with the right personal development, that they don't have to be, the biggest business builder coach or the, person who knows all about leadership. They can tell you how to show up consistently and work on you and show you how to do the same thing. And then that's what grows your business, because ultimately your business is built on transformations. So I just wanted to encourage you tonight, that we're talking about it, to do a couple of things. Like, one is, writing down your whys. And we did this in our Rock Your Rank thread. And I think it was really powerful for everybody, because a lot of times, like, we just think, oh, I'm showing up because I committed to be a coach and that's why I do what I do. But if you really lose sight, like, for Ashley and I, we both said we want to break chains of like losing family members too young because we watched our parents go through health issues, and we don't want to do that to our kids. For several of us, it was, we want to show our kids that like energetic mom who knows that physical fitness is a priority, because we come from like, parents maybe that weren't as active. Or for a lot of us, it's like we have student loan debt and we don't want that bill to be the controlling factor in every decision that we make for jobs or for vacations or for our lives. Like, we want freedom. There's so many deeper whys. And I think that if like we start sharing the whys, like everybody gets emotional, because there's a lot of deep seated stuff. And ultimately there's a lot of faces in your families that make up part of your why too. And if you keep that in mind each day and you think like, instead of what you don't have going for you, instead of this is what I have working for me and these are the people I'm doing it for, it shifts totally what you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone and do, and what you're willing to do on a consistent basis, to move things forward. And it doesn't have to be all about money, and it doesn't have to be about hitting the next rank. Like, when you start impacting lives and you start serving other people, some of the stuff just becomes it starts to, flow, and it starts to go to the next place without you even thinking that's where you want to go. But if you have a purpose driven business and that purpose ultimately starts with your why, you're going to grow something significant, and you're going to grow something that changes lives. And it's not just the life of those people that are your why. So I want you to think, like, if you only have an hour a day, like, honor that hour, make it the most precious hour that you have, and blow it out of the water. If you are not taking advantage of the program to their full extent, change it. All you have to do is change it up. Like, granted, I'm only, 8 days into Morning Meltdown 100, but my mindset is different because I came into this saying I'm not going to do that again. And every day I like make that the first thing I do each day so I can't screw it up. And I just encourage you, if you're not there yet, make this your defining moment, because you have a vision, you have a why every year. What's going to happen is your initial whys and your initial reason for being here. If you show up consistently and you really believe in yourself, you're going to accomplish it. And then you're going to get to set new dreams and you're going to get to build new whys. And that's going to be a really amazing feeling. And ultimately, it can be life-changing because you single-handedly are going to be building something. Yes, we can help each other as a team, and we can add people to help your volume and help your team cycle bonuses. But this is really like a ground-up business. You start from zero. And anything that you grow beyond that is something that you should be proud of, because ultimately you're an entrepreneur, you're a leader, you're somebody who is a business builder. And those are things that you can teach to the people in your family, and you can show them that, like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm not letting whatever everybody else says hold me back. So I just want to encourage you guys to, show up for you each day, but show up for your why, to like rewrite whatever story your limiting beliefs are in your head. Like, I throw time out there all the time, and in reality, the times that I'm most productive in this business are the times that I'm usually busiest, because I'm not screwing around with that extra time. Do your tracker each day, like whatever it may be, whether it's a Success Club tracking system, or maybe you just have your own little, like, I'm sending 10 invites today. Whatever you've set for yourself as your goal, honor it and show up for it, because ultimately I think that even if on those days where you're like, I really don't feel like it, just getting it done is like you showing up for the person who's in a better mood the day after. You're not screwing them over. It's just like staying on your meal plan on days that you don't feel like it. You're doing something for that person the next day who's going to be back on track. And then surround yourself with the right people. Like, obviously, these groups, that our team, our morning workout threads, are incredible. If you're not doing those things, or if you're not showing up, which obviously you guys are showing up for the team call, dig in a little bit more. It might just be you don't have the right like positivity around you encouraging you along, because ultimately we can have this call that lasts 30 minutes and is like a pump up session, and then you go back and you might be encountered by a husband or friends who are skeptical, or I don't know, family members who make fun of the fact that you work out. Like, that's a very common thing. And so dig in with the people that are going to support those goals the most, and let us help you stay on track, because ultimately we are looking out for what you're saying that you want, not trying to hold you back. Sometimes it makes people really uncomfortable when they see you change. And then rewrite your story now. So it is August 12th. If you have not gotten to where you wanted to be this year, I can honestly say a month ago, I assessed where I was, and I was like, this is not what I expected for the year. I thought I'd be so much further along. I don't know what I've been doing. I've been floundering, and I had a lot of tears. I had a lot of days where I just sat there absent-mindedly. I had a lot of life coaching sessions that clearly didn't go anywhere. And there was something about this program when it came out that I said, I'm going to literally dig my nails into this, and I'm going to take it for all it's worth, because I know that whenever I commit to a program, that's where transformation happens for me, mentally and physically. And then, I understand sometimes people say this to me, I'm not that passionate about Beachbody, so I can't, really take it the way you take it. And my response is always I'm not passionate about Beachbody. I'm passionate about what Beachbody can do. And so if you really look at this for what it can do and what it can bring, and how it can change your life, I think it makes it much easier to show up every day. You're not promoting Beachbody. You're promoting yourself, but you're also promoting your dream for your family, and you're promoting your why. And no, you don't have to say it that way, of course, but that should be what's front and center, not I'm just selling some product, no, you're here, you're using this as a vehicle. It's okay to use it as a vehicle to get to where you want to be for yourself and for your family. And you're not going to let, anything else stop you from doing that, because your why is that big. And that's really what it should be. So, if your why is your son, or your why is your daughter, or your why is your mom, I saw Ashley put her mom as her why today for workouts, and I started crying watching her stories. If you can't show up for you today, show up for that, because that oftentimes means more to us and is more powerful to us than we are to ourselves for some odd reason. And I have to say, if that's you, and you're I'm showing up for my kid today, not for myself, put their picture by your computer, put their screenshot on your phone with your why right there. Make yourself get into that mentality of, I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this for them, and I'm going to make it happen for them, because I guarantee you'll fuel yourself along so much more. You'll push yourself so much further. You'll show up. You'll stop shortchanging yourself if you've got a bigger purpose attached to it. We say it all the time in our challenge groups, and the same thing applies to your business. I can't push you off the cliff today. I can't make you go do all these things, but I can say to you, maybe find your trigger points emotionally that make you get there. And oftentimes for us, it's kids, it's family, it's whatever that vision for our life is. Put it front and center and make it your day-to-day thing that you look at, because that will change your mindset in a heartbeat. And maybe it's an alarm you set on your phone each day, whatever makes you visualize and get there and believe in yourself more and show up is, I say, do all the things, write on the mirror, set the alarms. I'm a crazy person. That's why I read 6 books in the morning, just to get my mind there. It's not one does the job, and there's no shame in that, because ultimately I think when I saw the power of this, and I set my why as I don't want to bill hours. I don't want to ask somebody else for time off. I don't want to watch my husband come home in a job he hates. And one by one, a lot of these things have changed because I've stuck with this. And I know that that's the case because it's given me a purpose. Anybody have any questions? No. Well, you guys are amazing. I really like, I'm loving our challenge groups. I'm loving watching everybody just share. And I love the community that's being created. Like when I logged in yesterday and Amanda and Molly had just been chatting for 40 minutes instead of working out, I was like, this is kind of like while they were laughing about it, I'm like, people are like developing good friendships. Like that to me is really amazing. I think that's cool. And there's so many like people partnering up and like holding each other accountable and cheering each other on in groups. And we have challengers asking like how you're going to reward yourself at the end of this, or why this makes you feel good. Like that ultimately, I was telling Colin the other night, I'm like, maybe my business isn't where I expected it to be, but these challenge groups are where I like ultimately what I wanted from the start. And that is like, to me, everything. So thank you, because I know it's because of all of you. All right, guys. Well, happy Monday Eve. I hope AC gets better, chiggers get better, tummy troubles get better, colic gets better, all the things. Bye, guys.